Greetings, everybody. CEO Shatter here, and I am coming back to you with more Myth of Empires. Today, we're going to be looking at around 16 or 17 tips or tricks or information you just want to know, don't know, could have used when you started. At the beginning of the game, you'll be told and shown to drop foundations, make a home, this and that, put stuff in it. Just know that it is not going to be your permanent location. You're probably moving around at least once. That was the first tip. The second is how to change, even though it shows you how to change your items when you go to place them. Like this corner wedge right here, you can see it kind of in the wall. So it shows it red right there. Now, if you hit Q, it'll automatically change it to another bind point. You can see it just swapping bind points right there. But if you hit T, like it says in the left side of your screen, I'll actually change it to a different piece. So let's do it with a wall. No. Let's use the wall, much easier. See, we hit T, now it's a door. We hit T again, now it's a window. Now it's a tall door, a half, some railing. Now here's the door. If you hit T for this, it'll actually change it to the tall door, as we saw earlier. Same thing can be done with the slats for the roof. Change different ones, different angles, so forth and so on. I believe I have a foundation right here to test out too. For the foundation, as we can see it, I'll change it to a square. I'm sorry, to go from a square to a triangle. And you can make some weird looking foundations with that by rotating them back and forth. And that is it with how to make things change what they are. For three is a thing that I call linking. It's from another game. It's where animals of the same family will help each other out when they're attacked. The two that I've noticed this the most on are boar and foxes. Things like wolves and bears, I don't know if they link or not, but they have an aggro radius that's ridiculous to begin with. So they very well might, but you just aggro them anyways. Alright, so here's the boar. We're about in that range. Pull out my, I guess I could have shot it. I want to save my bolts. Pull out my trusty battle axe, and I'll hit this one. As you see, all four are within a radius. The other three within the radius came after me. Alright, as we see, they run away after a while. Now I'm going to show you the same thing with the foxes. It's also kind of a pain to hit because they're so small to the ground, or low to the ground. See, I just completely missed that one. Alright, so we are coming up on this one. I'll hit it. As we see, the other two right there are going to come help it. And the third one got close enough and it helps them too. Alright. Before is using NPCs to help you. I want to show you this with vagrants because they start non-hostile to you. But you can semi-use it against the hostile NPCs to help. Then there are number some before you go and attack them. For number 4, again, we're going to shoot this boar. We're going to bring it over here. We're going to have the vagrants attack him. I'm just going to block. Let's let the vagrants deal with it. Now, once you do that, depending on how unlucky or lucky you get, you can sit here and collect all the meat. Just don't hit the vagrant because they will attack. For this one, it's going to be farming with the planters. And all these crude planters are useful. Drop it on the ground. It has moisture already. It has some manure or some of the fertilizer in it already. Next thing you want to do is get the porosity up, which lets you plant stuff. It starts at 100%. If it wasn't, you'd use an iron, you use a hoe. You start with stone. Then you just put it on the bar, equip it, and then just attack it until you get it up. After that, you would plant something, which I have something to plant. Or if you need to add fertilizer, this is the green manure. Put it on your bar, hit the button, and you will use the fertilizer. Now it'll take you a little bit of time to get for the plants to grow, and you will have to water it either with a well, which you unlock later, or using barrels. The large barrel will give you 500, and the other barrel will give you 2. That's it. That is it for the planters. For 6, weapon proficiency matters. Or yes, the proficiency skill does actually matter. See, mine is only 275, but I'm using a weapon mainly that requires a 615 two-handed skill. So I'm taking a 30% penalty to it. It's not just a penalty to my damage though. It is affecting its durability. So whenever I hit something or if I parry, I'm taking a more durability loss than if I was the proper skill level, proficiency level. And 7, for point 7, I will show you how to move proficiencies and how to add them. Every week you will get 5 you can freely move, which is called the unspent expertise points. After you move those 5, it does start costing you money to take stuff out. Since I've already used my 5 for the week, you'll see it's costing me 100 coins to remove these 5 points. What you'll do is you'll hit this negative sign down here at the bottom left once you pick the one you wanted to add or subtract from. Now I want to add it to my 2 hands, so I'll go to the 2 hand, click on it. Then I'll hit the plus sign, and I'll just add the points into it. That's how you take from and add to expertise points. For 8, there is a hard limit to your recipe points. As you can see, I have a surplus of 22 because I haven't used all of them yet. Now, on the other hand, once you use all of them, you don't get any more unless you use the Oblivion Potion, which is this potion right here. Once you make it, you can consume it, and it will reset all of your recipe points. I would suggest if you want to go that route, you make multiple of the recipe or the Oblivion Potions, just in case you mess up and don't take that skill again. For 9, if you decide you want to start breeding your horses, do note that it is not always 100%. You can breed your horses and fail to get your female pregnant. It does take life force, succeed or fail. The male has an hour cooldown after the try. The female, if she gets pregnant, will have an hour-long pregnancy. Now, while she's pregnant, her food consumption is excessively high. So you will need to make sure you have plenty of fodder, of the green fodder. At the very minimum, common course fodder. You'll want over 100, higher the better. She will have a small horse, baby horse. That baby horse will start eating small things like flowers or grass. So you want to make sure you have a couple of stacks of that as well, because it won't start eating fodder until it can actually take the fullness of said fodder. So if the fullness is 20, it won't start eating until it gets its fullness up to 20, which can take it some time. We're also looking at several hours worth of feeding until the baby is mature. 10 is your territory banner. If you place it, you'll get up to 2 days. Now you don't have to wait for this to decay in order for you to drop a new one. You can hold your E button, Go to territory banner, reset time left. As long as you have a banner in your inventory and you click on that, you will be able to just refresh the banner so you don't lose it. We're at 11. 11 I'm not going to show you, I'm just going to talk about it. So when you forcibly recruit an NPC, which means you go up to him, you fight him, you knock him out with a club, and he's unconscious. Then you pick him up, put him on your horse, and run him back to a torture rack. You string him up, and then you do your thing. Now, you don't have to just leave him in his armor and his weapons. You can go into his inventory after you knock him out, take off his gear. That way, he won't get up and start hitting you with his weapon if he's, say, one of the dragon NPCs. This leads me into 12, which you can actually put a torture rack on a cart. One of the normal carts, not the wagon, but the cart. On the back of it, and you can string him up there. You just have to get him down and put him on another one when you get back to your base. This also leads into 13, which is boars, like many other wild animals, mainly the wolves and the bears and such, but mainly the boars, will actually attack your NPC that you're trying to subdue. If you have him on the back of your horse, on the wagon, on the pole, when they see him, they will attack. So be mindful of that. For 14, the noble upgrades and the achievements actually give you bonuses. We'll take a look at my noble achievements. My noble unlock full noble viscount gives me these attributes. For all the bonuses that I have for being a noble viscount. On the other hand, for my achievements, as we see here, my attribute buffs, I get 3.2% for one-handed weapon increase, 3% for two-handed, 3.7 for polearm, so on and so forth. For 15, 15 is a weird one because you have to do it as part of your quest set, sort of. So 15 is if your horse or your warrior dies, there is a way to get them back. For the horse, it is your stable. You make your stable, there's a tab, and that tab is recovery. If your horse is dead, you go to the recovery tab, you hit the horse, you hit recovery, and you will bring them back to life in like 30 minutes or so. For the warrior, it is the same thing, but with the warrior's tent, which is in the it is in the taming recruit tree under drills, warrior camp right here. This is the one you want. You make it, you place it, and if your warrior is dead, you go up to it, you click your warrior, his name and icon or whatever it is in that section in the warrior camp, and you hit rescue. After a certain amount of time, it's usually an hour, 2 hours or more for the higher level, for the higher ones, they'll come back to life. Now, both times the horse and the warrior will lose life force once after they die, and then for every 30 minutes or more that they are still dead, regardless if they're in recovery or not. For 16, neutral camps, which the closest and easiest for most people to get is this one right here, the River Bandit Neutral Camp. This is where you go if you want to server transfer. There's a cart, you pay an NPC to do it. If you want to do some NPC trading, there's a trader, which you trade that to other neutral camps. And then there is this skill trainer, which is who you talk to when you want to upgrade your skills from whatever the current caps are. Like my one-handed cap's at 450 right now. I would hit that, unlock these, go to him, pay to get that unlocked, and the next cap would be 600. So on and so forth until you unlock the 900. And last but not least is 17. 17 is bedrolls. Bedrolls are great for single person use. Now, if I drop a bedroll, actually I have a bedroll to drop. Put a bedroll on the ground, it will regenerate. Now, bedrolls have their durability will go down no matter where they're at as they're used. So if you're using it, if you die, you use it, you die and you use it, the durability will start going down. On the other hand, I'm not sure on the exact amount of uses, but if you teleport with it back and forth, it will degrade it faster. You usually get about 1 teleport to and from until it's done. That would be 2 teleports, I'm sorry. 1 teleport to or from it and 1 teleport to it, and then it dies depending on how unlucky you were. And that is it for this. If you liked it, please drop a like, and I will see you guys in the next video.